derivatives. Derivatives. That's pretty much one of the first things you learn in calculus. The very first thing you learn is limits and continuity, but I tend to teach that a little bit later. My teaching is a little bit unorthodox. So derivatives is pretty much equivalent to slopes. And derivatives is a relatively easy concept to memorize because let's see, for example, if we have y equals x squared, and if you don't know, a tangent line is a line that touches a curve at only one point. So if I said that line, which is only touching this parabola at only one point, what is the slope of that line? And if you said 0, that's a good sign. But if I ask you, well, at this point, 1 comma 1, what is our slope then? So the slope looks like, oh, this is a bad drawing, but slope is going to look something like this. And you have to tell me what the slope of that line is going to be. And, you know, obviously just look at it and you could guesstimate here and there, but you won't get an exact answer. But there is an exact answer. It's 2. And how we figure this out is going to be through derivatives. So the first thing you want to do, we have to learn how to take derivatives of really anything. So for the examples, y equals x to the n, x being some variable, n being any number you want, then the derivative, we call the derivative y prime, which is also equivalent to dy over dx. Both are acceptable when you're writing a derivative. So the derivative of x to the n is equal to n times x to the n minus 1. So all that happened was the power just goes to the front and the power gets lowered by 1. That's really it. So for example, if I gave you an example, a problem like y equals, like up here, x squared. What is my derivative going to be? Well, the 2 has to come out to the front, and the power has to go down by, the power has to go down by 1. So instead of x squared, it's going to be x to the 1, which is the same as 2x. That's our slope. That's our derivative right there. And how do I know the slope here is 2? Well, it's crossing at that point when x is 1. So if I plugged in x is 1 here, I get 2. Therefore, the tangent slope is 2. And that's really it. It makes quite a bit of sense. So if a tangent line has to cross at over here, which is negative 2 comma 4, what is the slope of that line going to be? That one. Yeah, what is the slope of that line going to be? Well, again, this is still x squared, right? Y equals x squared. So when we take the derivative and we plug in what x it's touching, negative 2, we'll get y prime of negative 2 is 2 times negative 2, or negative 4. So the slope here for this line is negative 4. And that's it. That's really all what slope or derivatives are. The most basic concept of it, at least. So in the next video, I'll teach you guys, this is just a very basic example. There's also addition, there's subtraction, multiplication, quotient rule, which is division rule, and trig functions. There's a whole bunch of them. They're super basic though. Takes a little time just to practice and get used to it. Overall, this is just the basic gist of it.